Hello everyone, I'm Basilia from 5 Foot Nomad. Welcome to my channel. Here I share content about my digital nomad lifestyle. So in the past, I've shared videos about the things that I absolutely love about living in Montenegro and the things that I did not like about living in Montenegro, and something interesting happened, okay? So the things that I loved, it got, let's say, a few thousand views, right? But then the things that I did not like got thousands of views and lots of hate in the comments. I mean, a lot of people criticized me in the comment section. Some people said that I'm disrespectful, that I need to learn the language, I am ignorant, and all of these comments in the comment section, right? And before I dive into the video today, I just want to say, when I made that video, I was coming from a perspective of I first landed in Montenegro, right? And I had a different perspective coming from Israel, and I had different expectations. So yes, some of the comments were valid in terms of when I looked back at the video, I'm like, okay, maybe my tone was a bit harsh in some places and I came off as a bit rude somehow, but I still stand by what I said, you know, because that was my perspective on living here, right? I did not mean to disrespect anyone. I did not mean to make anyone feel bad. But at the end of the day, guys, that's the point of these videos, right? To give you an informed decision. I'm the one living here, right? And I'm saying the things that for me, from an African perspective, are either ridiculous or fantastic, right? So that was something interesting that happened. And in this video, guys, hoping not to offend anyone again, I'm going to be sharing the 5 more things that I don't like about living in Montenegro. So I hope people would see from my perspective. But yeah, let's dive into it. So guys, I've been living here now for 2.5 years, right? And I have to say from the get-go, I live here for a reason, right? I had the option to live in Germany, to live in Nigeria, to live in Israel, to live in Cape Verde, but I chose Montenegro because it is fantastic for me, okay? It is great for family life. It is affordable. Quality of life is very high. It is a very beautiful country. You can see a lot of things for cheap. And it's perfect to me, right? And that's why I live here. So even though I'm saying things that I don't like, it doesn't mean I'm going to move away. No, I want to be here and I'm here, right? And I love living in Montenegro. For me, it feels like home, more so than in Israel, more so than even Nigeria to some extent, right? So I've been living here for 2.5 years now, and there are some things that I've also noticed that I don't really like about living here, especially because last year, December of 2022, I spent my first winter here, so I realized certain things here, right? So let's jump in, guys. The first thing that I don't like about living here is the smell of smoke in the air from wood burning for heating in the winter, right? This is something that I had no idea about because the previous winter, the year that I moved here, I did not spend it here. I spent it in Nigeria and I went to visit, right? So my first winter was in 2022 of December, and I spent it here. And I realized, oh shit, when you're walking on the streets in winter, it smells like burning wood. You can even see the smoke in the air. Why? Because a lot of people still use wood as a source of heating, right, during the winter. So that's something that was interesting for me, right? I mean, I'm from Africa, right? We don't need heating for shit. What I'm used to is maybe in Israel where heating is electrical, or in Germany where things are electrical. But moving here, I noticed, okay, it's more towards village lifestyle. Yes, in apartment blocks and everything, there's no chimneys, right? So there's no wood burning. But from the houses around, there's wood burning, and so there's the smell of burning wood in the air in the winter. So if you're someone, let's say you're coming from North America or you're coming from a country in Europe, this is something to think about, right? Because in the winter months, it's going to be like that here. I'm interrupting this video to let you know that you can actually follow me on Instagram, okay? If you're interested in moving to Montenegro, I post every single day in my stories, and you'll see what I'm up to, you see what life is like, you see the price of things. My Instagram is 5 Foot Nomad, and you can follow me and yeah, see what I'm up to. And speaking of smoking, guys, the second thing that I don't like about living here is that a lot of people smoke. Like, there's a smoking culture here, right? I don't know where you live in the world, but in Nigeria, people smoke, but it's not something that is out there, except you're an especially trashy person. This is my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong. then that's when you're smoking on the streets and things like that. In Nigeria, people do these things in private, right? But here, it's like a lot of people smoke everywhere. In restaurants, you can't even sit outside on a sunny day and enjoy the sun because everyone who's sitting outside is smoking. So if you don't smoke, you have to go inside. And it's just not cigarettes, it's also these e-cigarettes. I feel like the e-cigarettes annoy me more than the original cigarettes because the e-cigarettes, they like to say, oh, it doesn't smell. And then they do it indoors. But no, it smells like farts, okay? That's horrible. At least from regular cigarettes, I know what to expect. From the e-cigarettes, it smells like farts. It brings a lot of smoke still, and it's pretty disgusting to me, right? So, and it's not just adults, it's teenagers, okay? There's a high school near where I live, and you see all of these teenagers, high schoolers, just smoke, vaping all day, right? So it's something that I don't like about living here. It's like, I want to go out and have a good time and not have to choose where I want to go to because if it's smoking section or not, or if everyone's smoking outside and things like that, right? It's not disturbing me on a day-to-day basis, but it's just something I noticed that I don't really like so much as a society, right? So guys, the third thing that I don't like about living in Montenegro is this one applies to ladies, right? If you're a guy, this point is not relevant for you, you can skip to the next chapter. But yeah, for ladies, I realized that here the tampons don't have applicators, okay? Where I'm from, even in Nigeria, I can buy tampons that have applicators. It just makes it easier. I mean, you don't need to, shove this thing down there with your bare fingers, You can use an applicator and it makes it way easier and cleaner and smoother, okay? I hope I'm not disgusting anyone by this, right? But this is just something I noticed. And if you're a lady coming from a country where you just buy your tampons and it has applicators, here you're not gonna find any. I mean, to the best of my knowledge at least, I have gone to all the stores that I can think of and all the tampons don't have applicators. It's pretty weird to me, but yeah, that's how it is. So something to bear in mind, right? And the fourth thing that I don't like about living here is, for me as a Black African, making real connections is very hard for me, okay? I know that in general, making friends as an adult is much harder because people have their friends already or they have their lives, they're busy, they're working on all of these things. But here, I feel like because I'm a Black African here in Montenegro, which is something that's a bit special. Yes, the Montenegrins are very friendly and very nice, and they will take care of you and give you that amazing first impression. In fact, they would even buy you a drink if you're hanging out with them and say, welcome to my country, this drink is on me, right? That's how friendly and warm and nice they are. But because I'm Black and because I'm something different, people want to be around you because of that. And so it's hard amongst the locals now. This is what I'm talking about, just to be sure, yes, among expats, you have that common thing that you're an expat here. But among the locals, it's much harder to make meaningful connections because after the novelty of, oh, I'm friends with a Black person wears off, then it's like, okay, what now, right? I've had many situations where I've, made instant first connection with some Montenegrins and it was fantastic and it was nice. I was hoping to build a relationship. But after some time, they just, drift away or they just withdraw themselves and you find yourself trying to reach for someone who does not want to be friends with you. So that's sad for me. I mean, I don't know why, or maybe it's not special. Maybe this is people everywhere. Let me know in the comments, right? But this is just something that happens to me specifically. And yeah, so far 2.5 years here, and I cannot say that I have one Montenegrin friend who I can rely on. Now that I'm talking about it, it sounds quite depressing actually. But yeah, I'm fine, I promise. But yeah, that's just the situation, right? So my next point may not be that much of a problem at all, but it's just something that I noticed here, okay? And it makes things a bit different, right? So the fifth reason why I don't like living in Montenegro is the municipal water, or the water that comes from the tap, is very hard water, and this means that it has a lot of minerals in it. And so if you just let it sit there, or let's say you boil water in the kettle or something, after some time you start to see the metals just settling in the jug, right? So the water is really hard. And so therefore, because it's so hard, the water is really, really bad for my African hair. Like, it dries it out if I'm not careful. right? And also it dries out my skin so much. Maybe this is just my personal situation. But yeah, that's something that I noticed here. And yeah, those are the 5 more things that I don't like about living here. Does it mean now that because I don't like these things I'm going to skip? No. For the people who told me in my previous video in the comments that I should move away and I should go back home or whatever, no. I love living here and I will stay here for as long as I can. You cannot chase me away, right? But as with everywhere in the world, there's things you like about the place and there's things you don't like, right? So I'm just giving my perspective to help you make an informed decision if you want to move here, so you're aware of these things, right? So guys, as a bonus point now, one of the things that's more of an inconvenience and not something that I don't like is something called pausa, okay? So kind of like in Italy where people like to take siesta and breaks and not work, and also in Cape Verde actually. By afternoon, 1 o'clock and things, people like to take a break and close their stores and you can't shop then. Here, there's something like that and it's called Pausa. And this is more with the government institutions, right? So with the government institutions, between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, 11:30-ish, they go on their break. It's like their morning break and it's called Pausa. So if you want to go to any government establishments or hospital or something, you don't want to go at that time, because if you go there, they're having their pausa, which is their breakfast break, and yeah, it's best to go afterwards. So guys, this is the end of this video. What do you think about it? Have I annoyed some people again? Or does it help to be informed about what life is like here in Montenegro? So let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out my Montenegro playlist, right? I have all these videos about Montenegro. If you're looking to visit Montenegro, you have all of this content to help you make an informed decision, to let you know what life is really like here in Montenegro. So if you've watched until now, thank you so much for your continued support, and thank you for watching this video, and until next time, bye.